Hi, I'm Dr. Alan Widener from Massage Chair Relief, and today's our bi-weekly massage chair industry update for Tuesday, August 30th, 2022. Thank you for joining me today. We have a lot of interesting news this week. The d.core Cerritos and Stratus are back. As you may or may not know or remember, earlier this year they had they froze all the sales of the Cerritos and the Stratus because of some quality control issues with the chairs, and they had a team of engineers come from the Far East to evaluate every one of the chairs that they had in inventory here, and put in the repairs or put in the parts that worked and resolved the issues that the chairs had. And now they have just recently announced that they're back into flow, into sales channels. So you can purchase those chairs. Now the Cerritos inventory is pretty thin, so they've allotted a certain amount every month until the next shipment comes in. And so for August, the inventory quota has already been met for sales, and in September you'll be able to get that chair again, as well as the Stratus. Also, along with Furniture for Life, which is the U.S. distributor for the Decor Chairs, they are also the distributor for the new Kai chairs from Hutech, the GTS 7 and the GTS 9, and those chairs have the GTS 9 hit the mark, finally came to market last month, and and they quickly sold out. So they are on back order until October. Originally it was thought that it would be middle of September, but it's going to be more the middle of October for GTS 9. Apparently the GTS 7 is available. And if you're wondering what the difference between the GTS 7 and GTS 9 is, or the differences are, and the similarities, you can check out my recent article I wrote last week comparing the two chairs. A brief summary is that the main selling feature and unique feature of these chairs is the sonic waves that come out of the rollers. And in the GTS 7, they come out of the bottom two rollers of the low back. So the low back, the back rollers are quad rollers. So there's two up top and two rollers down below. The two in the bottom are not true rollers. They have a nylon or a synthetic sheath over the mechanism that emits the sonic waves, and these go up and down your back, and they will create this a very high frequency vibration, and you will probably find it quite soothing. And that's a very unique feature to this chair only. Now the GTS 7 and the GTS 9 both have the rollers on the back, but on the back rollers, or the sonic waves on the rollers of the back rollers, but the GTS 9 also has it in the feet. So the foot rollers also have the sonic waves being emitted. Those are that's the primary feature of that chair, and that's one of the differences between the chairs. Another difference is that the GTS 7 has a pneumatic mechanism to move the rollers forward and back for 3D intensity adjustment or depth adjustment, whereas the GTS 9 has a mechanical mechanism. So what that means, pneumatic means air. The GTS 7 has an air mechanism that moves the rollers forward and back. The GTS 9 has it's built into the roller mechanism itself. It's all mechanical, and it moves it forward and back. Now what's interesting is that the pneumatic is actually a little more gentle, a little more nuanced, there's a little more give to it. So it might feel a little bit more not gentle, but a little bit more, what's the word I'm trying to think of? It'll feel a little less stiff than the mechanical one, the mechanical mechanism of the GTS 9. The GTS 9 they both have mood lighting, but the GTS 9 has 7 different colors. They both have heat mechanism. The GTS 7 has low back and calf heat, and when you adjust the heat, turn it on or off, or adjust the heat, it adjusts all the heat mechanisms. In the GTS 9, it also has heated rollers along with the seat and calf heating element. And all three of those elements can be operated independently of each other. There's a USB charging port on the GTS 9. There's some quick keys on the GTS 9, so you can adjust the function of the chair with some keys at your fingertips on the right-hand side. And also there's a carbon fiber look to the GTS 9, more of a pod-shaped body, whereas the body of the GTS 7 is a little bit more traditional, a little more angled, where the shoulder airbag housings are situated at the top of the armrests, as opposed to one long kind of a kidney-shaped side arm arrest that has the shoulder airbags and the armrest, the airbags, and the shoulder housing and the airbags, all part of the same armrest mechanism housing. So I don't know if that made any sense with that. I can write this stuff down, but when I have to actually explain it with my English language, I find it very difficult at times. And those are the primary differences between the GTS 7 and GTS 9. You can try those chairs. I don't know how widely distributed they are in Furniture for Life stores, but we have them in all of our stores. We have the GTS 7 in our Northern California store and the GTS 9 in our other 3 stores. So you can try those out there. Very interesting experience though, feeling that sonic wave, and they have programs that sync with the sonic waves. So like there's one that has a music theme, and when there's a bass or whatever, or even a crescendo in the music, you will feel the sonic waves go and increase with crescendo with the music. It's pretty cool. Of course, syncing music to the massage is not a new thing. I mean, their chairs have been doing that for almost as long as I've been in the business, but it's usually the bass. When there's a bass, it used to be when there was a bass in the music, there would be a bass, there would be a little vibration in the chair, but the vibration feature, the sonic wave feature, is a little bit more elaborate than that on the new Kai chairs. The white glove delivery for the Human Touch chairs, they've got a new policy that we have to abide by. We always charge $199.99 for white glove in-home delivery and setup, but Human Touch has mandated that we need to charge $349 on our website. So you'll notice that the Human Touch massage chairs only have a $349 in-home delivery and setup charge. That's not on every other chair, it's just Human Touch. Also, one thing, getting back to the GTS 9, I made an error on my last recording. I said that it looked like they had 3D calf and foot rollers in the GTS 9, and you know what? I contacted Jacob over at FFL. He's kind of the specialist with the new Kai chairs. And he told me, because there's settings in the GTS 9, 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3. So we had assumed that meant it was a 3D depth adjustment on the calf and foot rollers. Well, that's not true. It is a speed adjustment. So you can adjust the speed of the rollers in the calves and the feet, and it feels like it's more intense, but it's actually just the speed that causes the sensation of intensity, not the depth of the rollers. So I needed to make that correction. That was my mistake. I mentioned back orders on the GTS 9. Also, the Fleetwood Black has been on back order for quite some time. The Titan Fleetwood 40 LE chair, and that one is, they were supposed to be in stock in the middle of August. That's passed. Now they're supposed to be in stock in the middle of September, and that's just the black model. The reason I talk about that, I mean, there's lots of chairs that go through stock issues, but the GTS 9, the Fleetwood, chairs like that are fairly popular chairs, and so we just want to let you know that they are in back order. You might be waiting a few weeks for those. Also of interest, I learned this week that we used to carry the Uni chairs, the Blvd and the Lohas models, and they are, for the time being, they're out of business or not in not in business anymore, and so it's been very, very difficult for us to get parts for our customers who purchase those chairs and are having problems with it. It's very difficult. Now we have been able to, I've been able to reach out to one of the principals of Uni, and they still have some warehouse availability of parts, but the actual customer support department is not available anymore, and the sales department is not available anymore. You pretty much have to, if you have a Uni massage chair, let us know and we can find out for you if there's parts available. You'll still have to hire a tech, unless you're one of our customers. Of course, we have our lifetime labor warranty. We will we'll pay for the tech repairs, but you'll have to get the parts from Uni, and we can find out for you if they still have the parts you need, no pun intended, from Uni for the model that you might have. Larocca, I had an interesting experience with Larocca this week that really firmed up my appreciation for their manufacturing of their chair in the United States. Now, they do have some components, a very small amount, that still come from overseas, but the majority of their chair production and manufacturing is done in the United States. And the reason I'm telling you this is because, and the reason I appreciate this is because if there is a problem with a chair that comes from China or Japan or wherever, and there's a problem with a chair that needs to be rectified, well, first of all, the problems need to be relayed to the factory in the Far East. Then they have to figure out what the problem is. They have to create a new component or modify an existing component that might require new molds. And sometimes it can take months and months for there to be a resolution of a chronic problem with a chair. And then, of course, the parts in the new chairs have to be shipped out back to the United States, which can take who knows how long. Believe it or not, there's still backlog of shipments from China coming here. Even though we don't hear much about it, I don't talk about it much anymore, there is still backlog. It's not as bad as it was, but we're coming close to the holiday season, so I suspect it'll be another mess, or at least a mess. That's the only way it could be described last year and the year before that. But anyways, what's great about Larocca is that they can make changes almost on the spot in Dallas at their headquarters. And we had an issue. We had one of the very first i9s, which is their new flagship chair, at our showroom in Utah. And that was a number of months ago. And of course, most companies do, they make constant tweaks and upgrades. There's a Japanese term called Kaizen, which is constant, never-ending improvement, perpetual improvement. And I have coined the term Kaizening. When a company is improving their chair, they're Kaizening it. And companies like Furniture for Life, they do a lot of continuous upgrades of their chairs, and I know that Larocca does as well. But what's interesting about Larocca is that a lot of the mechanical changes or hardware changes or software changes can all be done in Dallas. So they can effectually send out a new motherboard or a new component that they have there in Dallas. There's no need to go overseas to make changes and then have them have to figure out what needs to be done and then ship it back. They have their engineers and their techs in Dallas that evaluate the problems. And the vice president of the company, Dr. Lee, is an engineer, and they're actually hands-on with the chair day in and day out, and that includes modifying or tweaking or kaizening, if you will, that chair. So I really appreciate that. They had to make some changes for our chair, and so we have just, they can just send out a new motherboard or whatever that they have modified with latest changes, etc. And I appreciate that versatility that they have, because they're not tied down to months and months of waiting for a correction to a part, or a repair or a modification of a part that has found to be recurrently faulty. So anyways, I just wanted to make a little mention of that as well, a little shout out to the Made in the USA chairs. I think that's just about it for this week. Just I would encourage you to take a look at my book, booklet. It's about 20 pages, a little over 20 pages, called Buyer Beware. And it's about things you need to know when you're shopping for a massage chair. And there's a lot of, I don't know what the word is to use it graciously. There's a lot of iffy propaganda, iffy chairs, iffy things going on in the massage chair industry. I have likened it to the Wild West. I have for years. It is like the Wild West. People see, oh, there's massage chairs. Well, we can make money at that, so let's import our own little chairs and bring them here, and we'll sell them by the dozens, and they do, or by the hundreds, and they do. But boy, we get calls all the time from people that cannot get support for these one-off chairs, or these these imports that come in here and are sold for pretty cheap, and for pretty cheap prices, and the next thing you know, there's a problem with the chair. With cheaper chairs comes higher failure rates, and more breakdowns. And so we get calls and emails all the time, people looking for help repairing their chairs, and we really can't do much because the parts come from the factory that created the chair. And if the company that made the chair is out of business or struggling, they're not going to be able to get you the parts that you might need. And if they go out of business, you're not even going to know what factory to go to see if they've got parts for it. So there's something to be said for being educated when you're shopping for a massage chair. Yes, that probably means you're going to be paying a little bit more than you would for some of these off-brand, sold solely through the internet type of direct-to-consumer sales. But just be aware, there's things that you need to be aware of before you make a big decision. And I just had a customer who purchased a chair from Canada, and we sell chairs from time to time to Canada and to other countries around the world. And it's important to know that these warranties often do not apply when you cross the border. So if you bring in a chair, if you want to bring in your own chair from China just for you, you can probably get it cheaper, absolutely, but the shipping is going to be very expensive. Repairs, you're going to maybe have to wait a few months if you need parts for a chair. It's hard to get English from a company in China. It's hard to get fluent English representatives of the factory to talk to you about what could help you troubleshoot the chair and help you figure out what the problem with the chair is. Or if you buy a chair from Canada, you need to be aware of things like, does the warranty apply? Like, for example, chairs that ship from here to Canada, the labor portion of the warranty does not apply. They will cover for parts, but they will not pay for the shipping of the parts to you. And you get a new roller mechanism, that's 100 something pounds. It's not going to be cheap to ship it. So there are things that you need to be aware of. I actually don't talk much about the foreign buying chairs from out of the country, or if you're in Canada or out of the country ordering a chair from the United States. That's probably something I need to add into that booklet, but I talk about 10 other major things that you need to be aware of that when you're buying a chair. So take a look at it. You can go on my website, go to the education tab on the navigation bar, and the last menu item is free downloads. And get that book. It is free. It's my book, and I feel I'm kind of proud of it because it covers a lot of things that people are not even aware of. And just telling you about the buying a chair from another country, or if you're in another country and you're buying from the United States, there's some things in there you need to be aware of. And I need to include that in that booklet because it just occurred to me as I'm sharing this with you. The reason I'm sharing this with you is because I've had a few people call me lately about whether they should buy a chair from Canada. And they may not have a return policy. Most companies do not from out of the country. Do they have, what's their labor coverage for you? You get a good deal, but the flavor, how's that? I don't know. I should learn that saying, but the taste of a good deal is long gone after the bitter taste of poor customer support after something goes wrong with the chair. That is true in the massage chair business. Very, very true. Anyway, so that's about it for this week's massage chair industry update. I hope you found the video helpful. If you did, please feel free to thumbs up, like us on our YouTube channel. And of course, help us spread the word about massage chairs by sharing this video or any of our videos with your friends and family as they consider looking for a massage chair. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at 888-259-5380, and we'll be happy to answer any questions for you about this video or about any of our chairs. We are here to serve you. Anyways, I'm Dr. Alan Widener from MassageChairRelief.com, and I will see you again in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.